again, Hit Talks wouldn't be here if I didn't say yes. I wouldn't have met Rick and Sanjiv and Jackie and Veronica if I didn't say yes to going to speak in Puerto Vallarta. It's just about saying yes. And I love that because, again, it's just a reminder to us all. Which brings me again, as Rick's been saying, to this friendship, this bond, and where we say yes and where we support each other, but supporting each other for the bigger purpose. Now, Sanjiv Chopra, as you know, from medical Harvard School in Boston, where he is currently now, but I look at Sanjiv more as like a father figure, let's say. Somebody who gives inspiration and hope out there into the world, and health, wealth and happiness, which is an event that we're doing together. Obviously, COVID stopped all of that. But the whole of the stories that we have in Hope, Inspiration, Transformation and Hit Talks is also around the health, wealth and happiness, because wealth is not just about money, and health and happiness bring it all together. And then when you say yes, then magic can happen. But again, Sanjiv, thank you so much for being part of Hit Talks and being here again for this mammoth 8-hour live stream. And I now give you your 8 minutes, my friend.
Thank you so very much, Vikki. Delighted and honored to be part of this incredible event. As Rick mentioned, we met for the first time in Puerto Vallarta. That's where we met you as well, in November of last year. And it forged an amazing friendship. And Rick and I have now penned together this book called The 7 Laws of Speaking and Writing. And he chose to speak on the first chapter we've written, which is Say Yes. And I'm going to address the last chapter in our book, which is the Law of Courage. So Sir Winston Churchill once said, "Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality that guarantees all others." So I've been reflecting on that, and we've written about this in the book. There are different kinds of courage. Many of us, when we hear the word courage, will immediately perhaps think of physical courage. The kind of courage that Sir Shackleton and his men displayed in that incredible journey to the South Pole starting in 1914. Even before he started the journey, he put an ad in the newspaper. And I'm going to read the ad. It said, "Men wanted for hazardous journey, small wages, bitter cold, long months of complete darkness, constant danger, safe return, doubtful, honor and recognition in case of success." And a whole bunch of courageous individuals joined him on that amazing journey. Now, physical courage, we can also, if we hear about a double amputee getting to the summit on Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. A double amputee, a person who's blind. 6 months ago, this 5-year-old British boy who was a double amputee decided to do a 5-kilometer walk to raise money for the hospital that saved his life. He wound up doing 10 kilometers and raising more than 100,000 pounds. So that's physical courage, but there's also moral courage. When we think of moral courage, we can think of Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., the young people of the Arab Spring from Tunisia and Egypt. Then there's spiritual courage. Think of Mother Theresa, who saw the face of Christ in every leper whose wounds she bathed in Calcutta. She had doubts about the existence of Christ. And despite that, she carried on a life's work of incredible meaning and purpose. There's the courage to write and speak. There's the courage that Vikki, you have displayed in launching this amazing series of Hit Talks. And it keeps evolving. And what you're doing today is absolutely phenomenal. But there's one other category that I want to bring up, and that is philanthropic courage. I'm defining philanthropy as love for humanity. And very often when we think of philanthropy, we think of money. We think of the Bill Gates and the Warren Buffetts of the world. But in reality, if you share your talent, if you give of your time, that's philanthropy. If you nurture, you mentor, if you inspire people, this is a philanthropic movement in a way. So I have distilled it to the 3 T's. It's time, talent, and treasures. If you share any of those 3, you're philanthropic. I hadn't heard of this 89-year-old American until a few months ago. His name is Chuck Feeney. And he had already donated $8 billion to philanthropy. He'd done it anonymously. He made a lot of money. He was the co-founder of these duty-free shops at all the airports all over the world. And he gave $8 billion anonymously. And recently he's given away the rest of his money. He's left $2 million for him and his wife's retirement. He's articulated a wonderful concept of philanthropy. It's called giving while living. And Bill Gates has applauded him and said he's one of the greatest philanthropists of our time. In closing, I want to leave you with 2 quotes. Courage, daring, willpower. Søren Kierkegaard, the great Danish philosopher and theologian, once said, "To dare is to lose one's footing momentarily. Not to dare is to lose oneself." And Mahatma Gadhi once said that strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. I want to finally, in the next 20 seconds, share with people listening my purpose in life. We've heard so many great talks, and I'm sorry I forget the name of the individual, but he talked about purpose and meaning. I think he's from South Africa. So let us muster even more courage as we continue to live with joy, bliss, and purpose. My purpose in life is to fulfill my dharma. It's a Sanskrit word. It distills moral compass, authenticity, truth, vocation. So my purpose in life is to fulfill my dharma, to teach medicine, to teach about leadership, to teach about happiness and living with purpose, to do it grounded in humility, with an ardent desire to learn every single day, and to celebrate with gratitude my family, my friends, my colleagues, my students, and my patients who inspire me in countless ways. And in some small measure, inspire everyone that I meet on this amazing life journey. So courage will give you hope, it will inspire you, and it will transform your lives. Thank you so very much.
Good. Perfect timing and a perfect roundup. It would be the end of the show, Sanjiv, but we have so much more to come. Thank you for sharing that. Time, talent, and treasures. And philanthropy, yes, it always used to be about money, didn't it? But we are going into a new world, aren't we? The world is changing. The way that we think and the way that we give is changing. and time, talent, and treasures. Think about it. What do you give? 1, 2, all 3? Maybe we can give a little bit more. So thank you for reminding us with that.